She's laughing at your jokes. She's answering your questions. She seems engaged, open, present. And then you text her later. Nothing. No reply, no explanation, just silence. So what happened? Here's the truth most guys never hear. You didn't do anything wrong. You just did something too safe. You had a nice conversation, and nice is the kiss of death. But I'm about to show you how to flip a conversation that goes nowhere into one she's still thinking about 3 days later. And the best part? You're not going to do it by talking more. You're going to do it by talking less. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn any boring conversation into a flirty one using 3 simple shifts that feel effortless once you understand them. I spent 2 years breaking down hundreds of real interactions, dates, parties, casual conversations, even random moments at weddings, to figure out why some conversations create attraction and others quietly kill it. What I found goes against almost everything you've been told. The moment conversations die. There's a moment in every conversation where things either spark or die. Most guys never see it coming, but once you recognize it, you'll never miss it again. Most conversations die in the first 3 minutes. Not because you're boring, not because she isn't interested, but because of something you do automatically, something that feels polite, normal, even kind. And by the time the conversation ends, she's already placed you in a box you can't escape. Here's how it usually happens. She tells you something about herself, where she's from, what she does, something she likes. And your brain immediately goes into connection mode. You want to relate, you want to show interest, you want her to feel comfortable. So you say things like, "That's awesome. I love that. That's really cool." Sounds harmless, right? But here's what actually just happened. You gave her your approval for free. And once you do that, the tension disappears. Why would she need to impress you if you're already impressed? Why would she chase your attention if she already has it? She wouldn't, so she doesn't. And this keeps repeating. She says something, you validate it. She says something else, you validate that too. You think you're building connection, but what you're really doing is removing all friction, all uncertainty, all intrigue. Attraction doesn't live in agreement, it lives in tension. Step 1. Stop giving away your approval so quickly. Not by being rude, not by being cold, but by creating just enough uncertainty that she has to lean in instead of relax back. For example, she says she's from Chicago. Instead of, "Oh cool, I love Chicago," you say, "Chicago, huh? Let me guess, you think deep dish is real pizza?" Now watch what happens. She laughs, she defends herself, she explains. She's invested. Or she tells you what she does for work. Instead of, "That's really interesting," you say, "Let me guess, you're the one who ends up fixing everyone else's mistakes." Now she's qualifying herself. She's showing you who she is. This isn't arrogance, it's frame control. I saw this play out at a wedding once. A guy named Marcus was talking to a bridesmaid. She said she was a teacher. Instead of praising her, he said, "Elementary or high school? You've got elementary teacher energy." She laughed, said high school, then immediately explained why. In one sentence, the dynamic flipped. She wasn't just answering anymore. She was trying to prove something. That's step 1. Create challenge before comfort. Step 2. Observe who she is, not what she says. Now here's where most guys mess up. They tease a little, they challenge a little, but they never create real connection. So the conversation starts to feel playful, but shallow. That's when they panic. They ask more questions, tell stories, try to impress, and everything goes flat again. Why? Because the conversation doesn't need more content, it needs more connection. Real connection doesn't come from deep interview questions. It comes from observation, noticing something about her that she didn't directly say. For example, she keeps doubling down when you tease her. You say, "You're competitive. I can tell you hate losing." Now she feels seen. Or, "You seem like the friend everyone goes to for advice." Or, "You're way more stubborn than you let on." You don't need to be perfectly right. You just need to be confident enough to say it. I learned this from a guy named James. He wasn't flashy, not rich, not especially funny, but women leaned in when he talked. Why? Because after a few minutes of light banter, he'd make one sharp observation and the energy would change instantly. I watched him say to a girl once, "You say yes to things first, then regret it later, don't you?" She stopped, looked at him, and said, "How did you know that?" That's attraction. Step 2 is simple. Make her feel noticed, not interviewed. Step 3. Let the silence breathe. This is a step that separates interesting conversations from flirty ones. Flirty conversations have stakes, and stakes don't come from words, they come from pauses. Most guys are terrified of silence, so they rush to fill it. Every time they do, they kill tension. When you tease her, pause. When you make an observation, pause. Hold eye contact for half a second longer. Smile slightly. Stay present. Let her be the one to fill the space. 9 times out of 10, she will. I saw this at a house party. A guy made a girl laugh, then stopped talking, just looked at her. She tucked her hair back, smiled, and said, "What?" That pause did more than any line ever could. Because uncertainty creates curiosity. Not knowing what you're thinking makes her want to figure it out. That's attraction. The formula. These aren't tricks, they're structure. Challenge, don't validate too fast. Connection, observe who she really is. Tension, let the silence breathe. Push, pull, pause. I tested this for months. Conversations that used to die after 5 minutes turned into long, engaged interactions. Texts got replies. Dates actually led somewhere. And it didn't feel forced because I stopped performing and started allowing attraction to happen. You don't need to be the funniest guy. You don't need perfect lines. You just need to stop playing it safe. So next time a conversation feels flat, don't talk more. Do less, but do it deliberately. Challenge, observe, pause. That's how boring conversations turn flirty. And once you feel it, you'll never go back.